the people who really focus on their appearance like that, like always in a lash, always in a this, always in a that, they tend to have poor money management skills and they lack financial literacy.
You look good, you have all of the something they bought you. Yes, goodie!
Hi guys, it's your girl Ren, and I'm here at the Goodgal podcast with a very, very special guest.
Hi everyone, my name is Janelle, or people know me as Gypsy. Hi.
I didn't know your name was Janelle.
Yeah.
How you got the name Gypsy?
High school.
High school. It was just like it was just a cute name.
No, it was like you know when you have your clique
Yeah.
and then we were blingers. Like I can laugh about it now,
Yeah.
but back then we thought we were popping.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
everyone had like a name.
Yeah.
And then after that it was like Gypsy Bling. And then because Blingers broke up, so it's now just Gypsy. And it just stayed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, you know it's funny, in high school I think we used to call ourselves like Not Nice, because you know you had, and then them time that we were just like, and we used to call ourselves Mrs. Palmer. So I was like Ren's Benz, my friend was like, all of us had like Gaza type nicknames. So it was I completely understand. I think it was a thing. Well, I'm happy to have you on the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm excited
Thank you
to
for
have
having
you.
me.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself. So who is Gypsy Janelle?
Okay, so I feel like I am someone who is very nice, very easy to talk to, down to earth. That's, the traits that I would want you to know.
Mhm.
I really like fashion.
Okay.
That's something I'm very passionate about. I'm actually passionate about women, actually.
Yeah.
So like whenever somebody talks to me, I'm like, okay, but what's going on? Like, what's your plans? And I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I think very differently from
The mass. Yeah.
And I'm very opinionated, and I am very, 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 like, I'll let you know how
what
it
you're
is.
thinking.
Yeah, I'm a very
Nobody will ever
realist.
question what you're feeling.
No.
We
I'ma
love that
tell you.
hair. We love that hair. So we can get into the hard questions.
Yeah, so that's just me.
Yeah.
Okay,
so what would you want to like leave on the podcast?
I would like to leave that everything that I say is truly from the goodness of my heart. It's not to be malicious. It's not to be taken out of context, right? But just so that you can understand where I am coming from and just have a general conversation, and you can pick out what you want to pick out. But let's just all keep it positive and respectful.
Amen. Okay, I love that. Okay, so this is actually our first time meeting each other in person. I've interacted with your content before. I know you're on YouTube. I know you're on Instagram, TikTok, all of that. So I actually reached out to you because of the opinion that you had on TikTok about the monthly maintenance of 70K, because it was different from what everybody else was saying. I felt like I was hearing a lot of the same consensus, but your opinion was different, which I always appreciate, a different opinion. Right? So do you stand behind what you said on TikTok? And for the people who haven't watched it, just regurgitate what you would have said. So let me give them the breakdown first. So initially the conversation was about, I think, a website creator. She said that she did a get ready with her vlog about what it takes monthly to be a hot girl in Jamaica, and it roughly estimated to about 70K. So you had an opinion on that. What was your opinion?
I did.
Yeah.
I literally watched the TikTok, I kid you not, probably about 20 times, because I was like, why are people so mad? Like, what did I say? And the more that I saw the TikTok, I'm like, 100% stand by this.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not the fact that you want to spend on your appearance. That's completely fine, right? But the issue is what other people are having, because I didn't see the original video, I actually saw other videos coming up on my feed. And they're like, why people have a problem? Why people have problems? Like, okay, I'll tell you why people have a problem. And this is usually why, especially from men or other women, because it can kind of come across as, I want to use my words very carefully, out of touch.
Yeah.
And the reality is, it's like, that's a lot of money. And the truth is, when we begin to make more money, there's something called lifestyle inflation.
Yeah.
And we tend to forget the value of a dollar, you know? So my general consensus was like, if you want to do it, that's fine. Just ensure that none of your other things are lacking. And I use some examples. I say usually like women, the people who really focus on their appearance like that, like always in a lash, always in a this, always in a that, they tend to have poor money management skills and they lack financial literacy. And I want to explain that real quick and just let you guys know financial literacy has nothing to do if you can read. Just letting you know. Yeah.
So people are thinking that's it means you can read. Wow.
Yeah, no, that's not what it means. It just means like how money works, how to make it, you know, expenses, liability, assets. That's what it really means.
So you speak a lot about, you know, financial, and that part is what caught me too, because you spoke about financial literacy. So just to kind of get a background on you, what was your upbringing like? Like, did you grow up rich? Did you not rich? Or what was your upbringing like? Rich, poor, middle class? Like, what was it like for you?
You know, I
to
really
make you kind of
think
have that opinion. Yeah.
I really think that I had a taste of both. I don't want to say I struggled because I'm here to acknowledge like I had privilege, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't come from anything of substance. Like my parents got divorced when I was 5.
Oh wow.
And my dad was the breadwinner. And there came a point in time where my mom,
and that's a hit for a woman naturally. Yeah.
So we had to move in with my grandma. I remember going to school with her. So she didn't even have like her first degree or anything. So it's like her story is a success story. After being with the company for a while, she did her master's. They paid for it and everything, and then she literally worked her way up. So
so you watched a hard-working woman make sacrifices and all of that.
Exactly.
So okay,
and
that
the
makes
thing
a lot
is,
of sense.
the woman, I don't really have male figures in my family like that, so I've always seen independent women trying to make everything happen, and my family is full of entrepreneurs actually. And so my mom is actually in finance.
Okay.
So she used to always drill it in my head like, hey girl, doing this and that. And it never took me a long time to really grasp what she was saying. And the truth is I didn't really understood until like I was out on my own.
On your own, okay.
And and then like actually Anna Novia, she's another creator. I learned a lot of things from her.
Yeah, I like her content as well. Yeah.
So then that's how I kind of learned. I don't know every single thing. Obviously, I've read some books by David Ramsey just because I am interested in being in the 1%.
Oh God, amen, amen, girl.
So
God knows this
God
below
knows.
it. The below it's not working out.
Not working out.
Not working out. Yeah.
So
yeah, I completely understand that. So no, so that was like your upbringing, but no, like, do you fully fund your lifestyle? Do you live by yourself? Do you live with a spouse? Do you what? Do you still live with your parent? Well, no, you said you're on your own.
I'm on my own now. I fully fund my lifestyle myself. But like, let's not get it twisted, right? I do have a partner, and
naturally, a partner is going to be supportive,
right?
Yeah, should be, yeah.
Anything he gives me is on his own accord, and I never ask. And to be quite honest, I rather use his money on stuff that I like to do, not bills. Right? So
fair. No, we respect it as a good girl.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that he's not a genuine person. He is, and he's very generous as well.
Yeah.
So I never want to discredit that. So yeah. It's very supportive.
Do you guys live together or is it?
No.
Okay, so you fully live by yourself. So yeah, because I think there's a difference with girls who like live with a guy than girls who don't. Because naturally a guy's gonna take, but you live by yourself.
Yeah.
Same. So I completely understand the stresses of that. Like maintaining a house, do easy.
It's not
easy. There's a lot of pop-up bills where them don't tell you about.
Oh,
there's a lot of pop-up bills where them don't tell you about. So sorry guys, I have like written down my questions, so I'm going through making sure I touch everything because I want to make this a good, full conversation. So how much do you think is fair to spend on monthly maintenance? Seeing that you say 70K is probably too much or unrealistic, or what do you think is like a fair amount, or how much do you spend?
Okay, like I don't want to put a specific number on it because it all depends on what you're bringing in, right?
Okay.
But I personally don't believe that. Okay, first, there's a misconception that I don't partake in maintenance. I do, okay? Because people are coming for me in the comments saying that I like to spend a lot of money, which is relatively true.
Yeah.
However, I don't
But
do
you're
it every
spending
month.
based on
And I spend based on my income.
affordability.
Right.
Yeah.
So I spend probably around 30 something $1,000 a month. And reason being, it's like, I don't like the extraness, to be honest. I don't like lashes that much. I do them once in a while because for me, when them start like coming out, I want to pick them out.
Yeah, that's why I don't do them.
I don't do them. The only thing I really do every month is like my nails, and I do laser hair removal on my on my Brazilian and under my arms, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's fine for me.
Yeah.
But I understand like other girls will have other things to do, and I got a lot of comments saying like how, oh, you don't have to do much, or you know, these things help my insecurity or whatnot, and that's fine, but you know, you can learn to do stuff yourself too.
Yeah. But you know, there was one part of it that like I think there's also, so for example, right, there's a little bit of a dark skin light skin thing that's involved with it too, because because doing research in the topic, I saw somebody stitch it in and I thought it was an interesting point. She had that point as well. She was saying, I'll tag you guys, I just don't remember, I saved them.
I didn't see any of the videos, by the way, because I didn't want it to trigger me, and I'm the type of person to respond. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. But there was, I don't think it was necessarily by you, but it was just about the topic. So she was saying that, for example, a girl of lighter skin, or what Jamaicans call pretty hair or whatever, can just go into a job interview with a bun or whatever. But if you go as a darker skin girl who have 4C hair and your hair not, you know, your hair not relaxed, or you don't have in a wig or all of that, you know, it affects your possibility. And I actually took some data based on what she said, and it said in 2016 a federal court actually had to rule it illegal to discriminate against. I think there is, playing devil's advocate, there is also a part in it where there is some factors for women that some women have to maybe spend more because of what society deems as acceptable.
Yeah. I think that kind of sucks too. Like
so I think like whenever these conversations come up to me, it's like we're going at each other instead of having the conversations with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can, as you said, I appreciate a different opinion. And I'm not a surface level person. Like anybody who knows me, and if you watch my YouTube videos or other creators, they'll always tell you, like, when you're having a conversation with me, we're going deep. Yeah. So as I said, like, somebody probably would have seen that and say, oh yeah, a girl can spend whatever she wants, leave it at that. But there is a deeper rooted issue here. It's not just surface level. And let's go there. Let's have a conversation.
Facts. And I like the fact that you said, because when you said, that's why I kind of want to understand like your upbringing, because you said your mom is in finance, so you know the value of a dollar. And I think that's something that not a lot of people understand, because for me, when I was probably like and then you told me you're 24, right?
Yeah, I am 24.
Making me feel old. But when I was your age, I was not thinking like this. Like I wasn't stupid, but I wasn't smart. Like I wasn't thinking about, I probably would have spent that. Like I probably would have just, you know what I mean? Because again, there's a little bit of insecurity in it. There's also wanting to look a certain way, attract a certain type of person to.
Yeah, that's true. And it's like you kind of have to be so careful about what you consume on social media, because it's very easy to get caught up and it's very easy to be impressionable. And my audience is typically girls around my age or younger women and stuff, people stepping out into adulthood. And I just want to guide them on the right path. And you can listen to me because I've been through it. So like people who are saying I'm a hypocrite because I spend this and that, but you're going to listen to somebody who's gone through it rather than somebody who's never had. So I walked so y'all could run.
Like, you've been in that situation where you were overspending on things and you realize it just don't make sense. Okay, so you're speaking from a place of experience then.
Yeah, but like I don't want to say that I'm a huge spender, because I'm really reserved. But when it's time for me to go hard, I will go hard. You know, that's just because I honestly, I think because of the way that I grew up as well, seeing that having something and then not having it and then having it again, it's like I just feel this sense of, okay, like if something hits the fan, I need something to fall back on.
Yeah. So the thing is, right, because a lot of what I saw to a lot of the girls that were saying, oh, the 70K or whatever, because I personally I'm on the fence with it, right? Because it's like if you have it, spend it.
Yeah.
But then for me, like I don't do it. So it's
Yeah.
like these are personal nails, girl. Like I spend money on my hair mainly. Like I'll spend money on my hair, but then there are arguably things that people would deem as not necessary.
Right.
So for example, you said you do laser. So some people might say that's an unnecessary beauty thing. So I think
for me it's worth it because
exactly,
because I will spend this money doing it for 12 months and then I can go months without having to shave or months without having to wax.
Yeah.
So it's literally an investment for me.
But
a long-term investment, but it's an investment,
It's
sorry.
yeah.
So as you said, everyone likes different things, and that's the truth. Everyone rather spends their money on something else. But where I was coming from is just ensure that other things are not being compromised, because I hear a lot of people saying that I don't have any kids, I don't have any responsibilities. Yeah, you don't right now, but what happens when you do? You're gonna wish that you had something to fall back on. And
life comes at you fast.
Trust me, it's hard to really understand, because I want to talk numbers in this, right? Yeah. It's hard to understand when you're not in it, when you don't really know. And what I didn't like about it too is like, you cannot have like an intellectual debate and then you're only going off of somebody who is in the same socioeconomic class as you.
Yeah.
You have to literally think about it on a wide spectrum. Because if you have 10 women here and you ask them how much money they are making or how much money they spend on maintenance,
they probably don't. And then probably a lot of women don't even make 70K a month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it was just funny because a lot of people are arguing with me that there are women who can do both and whatnot. Okay, so we're talking about a self-sufficient woman here, right? And if she's paying $70,000 a month, this is the criteria. This is Kingston prices, by the way.
Yeah.
So
if we're watching from the US, I have some viewers from the US. So I have I think 20% viewership from the US. If you're watching, it's JMD. So it's roughly about $500 US.
You're right.
Yeah, a month.
And so this is not like country prices.
Yeah.
This is not whatever. This is Kingston prices. So we assume that this girl lives in Kingston, right? She's fully self-sufficient. She's living by herself. Okay, cool. Rent in Kingston is astronomically high, guys. Yeah. Literally. So let's just put her rent to be 80,000, which is on a low mark, 80,000. Okay, cool. Because I literally wrote this down. And her bills, her utilities, she have water, light, internet, all of that stuff. That, let's say, that comes up to around $40,000.
Yeah. And that's cheap.
And that's cheap, right?
Probably more.
And then she's doing her grocery shopping. Groceries are horrible, right? That's about $40,000 a month, right? And then transportation. Maybe she have a little car that she probably pay off or whatever, but gas is expensive. We're talking about, let's say, $25,000 on gas a month, right? All depends on where she works.
And what car she drives.
And what car she drives and all of that. And then lunch, throughout the day, she going hungry. And the thing is, like, that's easily over $200,000, right? The average single woman is not making $200,000 a month. Like, so I heard people saying their women making $250,000. I'm like, even if you make $250,000, there's no way that you can be spending $70,000 out of that. Are you crazy?
You would say that's irresponsible.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
So it should be a small person. If you want to spend $70,000 on your appearance every single month, I expect you to be making at least $350K.
Yeah.
And if you're not making that, then okay, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And I know that there are people who makes that money, of course, right? There are people who have their businesses, but any business person will tell you it's never consistent.
Yeah.
Okay? So 1 month you can make 300,000, and next month you probably make 50.
Yeah.
I have a friend who is in like services, right? So she does a service. I don't want to say it, obviously. And 1 week she can make 100,000, and then the next week she makes 20K.
Yeah.
So it all
Especially
depends.
it's seasonality, right? Because like at Christmas, girls tend to want to do a little bit more in services or whatever. So yeah.
So when you actually plug numbers into it now, you're like, holy crap, I'm not. Wow, this is like crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like you have to be thinking
practically.
And you're always saying that, oh, I don't have any responsibilities, but you have goals, right? I don't know anybody who doesn't want to evolve as a human being, especially as a woman.
Yeah.
Because the odds are against us a lot. So
and then the basic needs, right? Because for example, I think what I'm getting from what you're saying is to be not just to be wise, but also you have to be. So when you're speaking about the women who don't make a certain amount of money.
Yeah, of
course.
You
make it, then
if you make it, that's fine.
Because to me, I always think there's like a scale to hotness, right? Because like I think so. You don't think so?
Honestly, I don't think so, because for me, beauty doesn't equate to a certain price tag. Because you spend $70,000 on your appearance means you look better than me.
No, not in that sense. No, when I say levels to hotness, I mean, for example, like when you look at girls like the US, like a Jada Chavez or Ari or those girls, like I can't do what they do. I'm sure they're doing laser, they're doing facials, they're doing all of
Botox, they're doing all of these things.
They're doing like all of these things, and I think a part of beauty as well is like the BBL, that's a part of it as well, right?
All of the cosmetic procedures.
So I think it's also the way that it's that's why I said there's a level or a scale to it. Because for example, like us doing our little hair and nails and whatever, some girls might consider that basic.
Yeah.
Some girls want to do the fat fusion. There's always the beauty industry, I think, is like one of the number one. I had the stats, but I don't know what's I doing it. But it's in the top 10 most lucrative industry. So that's why you see celebrities coming out with skincare, all of that, because there's always somebody who's willing to try just based on something. Girls are always willing to try a new product. The average household in the US actually, or the average woman in the US spends about $313 a month. So even that, because when I saw that too, I was like, okay, there probably is some merit to what you're saying in terms of the spend, because that is about 50K Jamaican dollars. But then 70K is roughly 500 US. So it's actually spending above what is made in the US, who has a higher dollar than us. Exactly. Right? So I think that when I said, that's why I said there are levels to it, because that's like the basic average woman in the US. But then when you go to different levels, and then I think there's a part of it too that's like, I don't think they're gonna want to hear this, but I think there's a part of it too that has to do with
insecurities.
Not just insecurities, but like dating and men.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because it's like
100%. They're not gonna like this.
I think the type of men that you want, I'm kind of, as I said, I'm two sides of it, because it's like, I think if you want to attract a certain type of man, there are certain things you have to do beauty-wise, because some men require it.
Actually, I don't think so.
You don't agree? Okay,
because
tell me more.
It's like when you're attracting somebody, they don't know you. And if you really look at the pattern of things, like these artists or these very successful men, they tend to go for regular girls. And the truth is that men who practice hypergamy, they're going to invest in who they want to. So it doesn't matter how you look, because they will bring you up.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they made you who you are, but that's just how men operate. They'll invest in you because a guy knows that a woman is a representation of him. So, and I can tell you firsthand, right? Because I've had guys who are my friends who are doing very well, and even just in my field, because I do hospitality, right?
So you see everything.
I see everything. Like I see everything, and it doesn't matter. What really attracts a man is who you are. Yeah. And there's a thing where some girls focus on that and their inside is very ugly. So it's like, it's not helping you, sis. Sorry. But
But then because they bring you up part, right? Because the thing is,
And that would have to be a generous man, let me tell you, because there's
not every man
between rich and generous. Okay,
yeah, very big difference, huge difference. But then in terms of that point, right? Because you said he could bring you up, and I think that they're trying to show. I think there's a thing where sometimes you want to show that you're already up. Because for me, I can say from personal experience, when I never really care about, like, I've let me not lie, I've never not cared about my appearance. But in terms of the way I do things now, like making sure, cause you know, when you're in college, you don't have money, whatever. Your nails not always done. Exam time, you're not gonna cream your hair, you don't care, right? So now when I put more effort into it and all of that, I feel like there is more quality men or whatever that is, or you're seen in a different light when you dress classier, because dressing is a part of it as well. Yes. Clothing, when you dress classy, you carry yourself a certain way. I think it does attract a certain type of person. So there is, I don't know, maybe it's one of those agree to disagree points, because I do think that there is some merit to how you carry yourself to present a certain man. And then honestly, what I've learned from this whole thing is all of us priorities aren't the same.
Yeah, that is true.
Because you may want a house, you want a house, you want houses. All of these things, you want houses, you want businesses and all of that. Yeah. Some people just want to look good.
That is true. Yeah. Like, and that's what I was thinking. It's like, you know, the reality is that one, not everyone can be an entrepreneur, because people thrive off of structure, right? Some people might thrive in a 9-to-5 setting, some people might not. You know, and people just want different things. I love a luxury handbag. I love a designer shoe. That's me, right? But I'm not spending $500,000 every single month.
Yeah.
And then I also saw an argument about how if you can, like Mama says she have a house, right?
Yeah.
I saw for her bills, them whatever, she can afford to spend $70,000 a month. No, I can't, because my expenses are about my fixed expenses are about $160,000 every single month. Fixed. That doesn't include when I'm hungry,
when things pop up. Yeah,
exactly. And I have to think about, okay, April 1st coming up, we just gone. I have to ensure I have my property taxes. My car can break down into insurance. My car needs a service, battery, and that. Like, I have to think about these things. So what? And probably when people hear that amount, like 160, I'm like, oh my God, like that's crazy. When I break it down to you, you're like, wait, that's not crazy at all.
Yeah. Because expenses tend to pile up. So what I understand from this then is that your problem is not, or your whole feedback is not on the basis of, because you, like, what I'm getting is, you think that if you have it, spend it, and if you can afford it,
but I said it in my video. I said, if you can do both, that's great. Just ensure that you are making financially smart decisions. That's all.
Yeah.
I've heard I'm broke. I heard I'm bitter. I'm here. All of these things, and I'm just so far from all of that. Like, no, sorry guys.
She's a sweetheart, guys. She's
sorry.
A sweetheart. My dog likes her, so that's like, Mila likes her. That's a great indicator. But you said in the video that women tend. This is the part where I was like, I don't know if I necessarily agree to that. Like, women who spend that much tend to be less financially literate. What is that based on your experience? Like, what made you say that?
That's based on like my experience, and just based on the fact of the economy and stuff. And the truth is, people cap on the internet. They really do. So you can't, as a normal person, you can't just listen to somebody and then, one, you don't know their circumstances, because if they live with mommy and daddy, they have more disposable income, right? Or if they have a man in their life, you know, that's help, right? But I don't want young girls to ever feel as if they're nothing because they can't afford
that. Okay. So it was okay. So
my comment was really based on like just socioeconomics and just what I've heard and what I've seen firsthand. Because like I would hear that a guy.
Sorry, my Alexa went off. I'm so sorry for the distraction.
I would hear like a girl be like, babes, can you pay my rent?
Mm-hmm.
And then she went and did this and that and that.
Okay.
I bet you ask for money for do your ear than, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I'm not telling anybody how to spend their money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But
you just more want to make sure that it's not like the standard. Like, if you don't have this, you are not this.
Yeah.
But then I think that because I can arguably say, in my experience or what I've been seeing with the girl, well, then I'm a lot old. I'm old. But, the girls in my age, I can say that honestly, the girls that like a lot of the women I know, they're making bank and them have 2-3 hustles that's working for them or whatever.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I personally wouldn't spend the 70K a month, but I can. If I'm not even flexing, I can.
Yeah.
But
so can I.
Yeah, and then but it's just not a priority, right?
Right.
But so I wouldn't necessarily say that a lot of the women, I think some women, I would say some, I think it's more of some. So some women who spend it can't afford to, while some women who spend it really can. And some women that is not even, 70K is a little bit of money to them. Yeah.
And I agree that, as I said to you before, like, I know that there are people who make that money, of course. But at the same time, there's more that don't, based
on living in Jamaica, the fact is more people just don't naturally
at all, because as I said, if you look at my numbers, you can say, yeah, you can afford to do that, but I just choose not to because, again, my mindset is different. What if I lose my job? Okay, many people will know I am a landlady, right? I can live off of that comfortably, of course, but at the same time, it's still a hit for me. So I need to ensure that I don't have all my eggs in one basket. And that is what I was really coming from. It's like, be a boss and try to figure out how to make more money and learn how money works. Like, that's just my view of it.
So it wasn't necessarily about the 70K. It was about making sure you have the money to spend
do
it, and
not broke yourself, trying to keep up,
and then also not thinking that it's the standard.
Exactly.
So I think what
you
I'm
don't need $70,000 to be a hot girl, guys.
You can be a hot girl in your own right.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm thinking is that I think based on what I saw on socials, I think everybody was having 2 different conversations.
Yeah. And honestly, there's only so much you can say in a 15-second video.
True.
And as I said, I was not going to elaborate on the fact. I'm not going to make a part 2. I just said what I had to say. Right?
Those who understood, reach out to her to do this as well. So it wasn't like she was like, you know what I mean? I reached out because I wanted a difference of opinion.
Right. Those who understood what I was saying got my message quite clear. Those who don't get my message obviously had a problem. Yeah.
But I think there was like healthy conversations, like, you know what I mean, conversations to be had on it. So I think it's more about, for me, my moral would be respecting women with where they're at and appreciating each woman's journey. Because some women can, some women can't. Some women do, while some women don't. And some women who do shouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, a lot of people are saying, I know a lot of people who, women can do this and it's nothing for them. Okay. But we need to start having
those women.
I'm not talking about those women. And also, we need to start having conversations and teaching women how to make more money then, if that's the case. Because why wouldn't you want to see other women win?
Yeah.
So, the obvious...
beauty standards also need to be addressed as well, because it's like, why is that like the standard? Why? The beauty standards also is a thing that we need to probably look at and be like, hey, why do we... Because, like, and then I'm the part of the problem too, because if my hair not done, I feel good. I feel happy.
And you cannot, like, that's such a dangerous path to go down, because it's like, your worth is not based on how you look. And it's, you see, when it's something, emotions are very, very tricky. And we need to start forming healthy habits to cope.
Yeah.
Like, that's very deep, as I just said before, but it's the truth. and we can sometimes get ahead of ourselves.
So I wanted to. There was somewhere I really wanted to go the other day, guys. Bella's in the background crazy. I'm so sorry. I was actually going somewhere, supposed to go somewhere the other day, and my hair wasn't done, and I was like, oh, I don't want to go because, and I genuinely want to go to the place, and it's like nothing is wrong with my natural hair, like I just didn't have like a special, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna put this in a bun and I'm gonna go. Why would I not go? Because you know what I mean. So there is that part of it. There is that part of it, and there's a lot of beauty things that is rooted in insecurity. There is like a lot of it, but some things are, you know, necessary, or some people deem it as better, because like when some girls wear weave, like I have a friend who wears weave, and she's like, hey, you know, when I put in my weave, my hair grows, my natural hair grows longer. She uses it as a protective style. She don't have to touch her hair for 5 weeks. So like, you know what I mean, you just have to, I think everybody's saying the same thing in different ways, but just not communicating it in the best way. I think it's just finding something in your prioritizing what you deem as correct beauty that's necessary, and then finding it in your price range, while also making sure that your bank account is stacked. And
I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I'm not gonna come up here and be like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. No, because I am a humble person, right? And I believe whatever God gives you, He can easily just take away.
Amen.
So if you're listening, I just want you to know that it's never from a malicious intent. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not criticizing anybody. Just saying, stack your bread, girl. No, don't watch no face, right? So let me tell you about beauty. You'll always have it, okay? You'll always have it. And the thing is too, beauty is so fleeting, because everybody knows after 2 weeks your hair looks like crap. Like that's the truth. Like we all know, once we get our little braids, it start pull up and all sort of something, right?
The wigs start lift up.
The wigs start lift. So it's just like, try not to focus too much on the beauty, because anything can happen. You can get in a car accident and, you know,
lose your features. All of that.
So that's just my main take on it, really.
Okay. Well, I think that was a good conversation. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed your opinions, and I think that I like the fact that you're authentically yourself. Like, you're not scared to share your opinions. You stand on what you say, and you communicate it well.
Trouble, but
no, it's honestly it's a good thing, and it's so good to be young and not impressionable. Like, you can make your own decisions. So I respect it, and I thank you so much for being a good girl for the day.
Thank you for having me. A good girl always, not just for the day.
Facts. So I'm taking a moment to shout out our sponsors, Helago Wines and Spirits. So Gypsy is actually drinking the pineapple varietal.
It tastes good.
It tastes good, right? It's sweet. And I'm drinking guava. So before we go, I have a gift for you from our sponsors.
I have a gift.
Yes, you have a gift. So you are very lucky, because before we've had guests on the podcast before, but they weren't here when we got our sponsors. So our sponsors, Airtown's Distributors and Helago Wines. So you got yourself some Helago Wines and some Airtown's products.
Yay! Thank you.
So I hope you like it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.